Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 26 of 2024 we had 157 tournaments with a total of 2,961 players and 10,956 games played. As the vast majority of tournaments are using the new rules, we have reset all our data for the update, which a fair few are calling 10.5. We do have a lot of data in the first week, which should give us a decent indication of the initial meta. As this is the first week, I would expect some big changes as players get used to the new rules. We also have the first week of the new codexes for the Sisters and Gene Stealers. With that said, this week the Space Marines top the charts with 29 wins and 92 top 3 placings. Their weight base is 21.2, and they have the most big tournaments wins with 11. They do nearly always get near the top due to their high popularity, but this is a good start for them. The Orcs come next with 12 wins, 24 top 3s and a weight base of 16.4. This is a good result for them, however they don't manage to get any wins at the larger tournaments. The Necrons are close behind with 11 wins, 42 top 3s and a weight base of 22, which is a good result overall. The Tau and Chaos Space Marines both get 10 wins, with the Tau getting more top 3s. They have weighted plays of 19.3 and 24.3 respectively. Guard come next with 9 wins and 21 top 3s, with a weighted place of 18.6. Custodians get the same number of wins with 9, with 3 less top 3s. Their weighted base of 15.9 is the second best overall, and is a very good result for them, considering their performance before the balance changes. The Sisters and their new codex come next, with 8 wins, 21 top 3s and a weight base of 16.5, which is a good result for the new book. The Thousand Sons get 7 wins with 25 top 3s and a weight base of 16.3, the third best overall. Despite some big nerfs, they have performed well this week. Chaos Knights also get 7 wins with 15 top 3s and a weight base of 16.6. Grey Knights get pretty much the same score, with 1 less top 3 and a weight base of 19.9. The first 5 factions of Green all get 6 wins, being ranked by the number of top 3 placings. The Tyranids get the most top 3s with 27, but a high weighted place of 38.3. The World Eaters come next with 22 top 3s and a weighted place of 20.7. The Death Guard get 19 top 3s and a weighted place of 20.3. The Drukhari get 15 top 3s and the best weighted placing this week with 15.8, a very good result for them. Imperial Knights get the same score, but with a higher weighted place of 20.5. The much changed Chaos Demons are the last faction in green, with 4 wins, 14 top 3s and a weight base of 30.8. There are 2 factions in yellow, with the Eldari getting 2 wins. The Gene Stealers and their new codex don't fare too well, only managing a single win. Admech and Votan are the only major factions in red, who unfortunately miss out on a win. We did have a lot of tournaments this week, but the wins are reasonably well spread out, with some factions missing out early on. 24 factions managed at least 1 top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 246. The Tyranids are in second with 100 top 10 placings, with Necrons getting third on 97 top 10 placings. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 17.36% of all players taking them. Chaos Space Marines are the second most popular on 6.99%, Necrons are in third on 6.86%. The Tyranids have done well in the top 10s considering they are the 4th most popular, with Chaos Space Marines seemingly struggling a little bit. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. In the first week with the new rules, the Thousand Sons again topped the charts with a win rate of 57.7%. This is a little surprising, given the significant nerfs they got. We'll have to wait and see if their win rate changes over the coming weeks, but they have started strong. The Drukhari are very close behind with a win rate of 57.6%, which does explain how they got the best weighted placing this week. It'll be interesting to see if they maintain the good win rate. The Gene Stealer cults are the first faction in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 51.6%, which is a pretty large drop off from the factions above. The World Eaters come next with a win rate of 50.5%. The Grey Knights have a win rate of 50.1%, with Death Guard and Imperial Knights on a 50% win rate. The vast majority of factions are in yellow, with Chaos Knights topping the group with a win rate of 49.5%. The Tower close behind on 49.4%, with the Sisters on a win rate of 48.9%. The Necrons are on 48.8%, with less than 3% covering the first 9 factions in the Goldilocks zone. Guard are on a win rate of 48%, with Custodians on 47.9%, despite getting the second best weighted placing this week. Chaos Demons and Tyranids are both on 47.8%, with the Votan on 47.6%. The full Space Marine faction is on 46.8%. We will cover the individual chapters later on in the video. The Orcs see perhaps the biggest drop since the changes, going from near the top of the Goldilocks zone to a win rate of 46.4%. They did manage some sizable nerfs to their strongest detachment. Perhaps players need some more time to find out the new best list after the nerfs. The Eldari are just in the Goldilocks zone with a win rate of 45.2%. We do have 2 full factions below the zone, with Chaos Space Marines just missing out on 44.9%. We did receive quite a few comments about how the Chaos nerf seemed unnecessary, and on the initial win rates, this may well be the case. Finally, Admech are at the bottom with a win rate of 43.6%. With such big changes to the faction, it may well take some time for players to work out the most competitive list. Overall, the game is actually in a rather similar spot to before the changes, with some factions changing dramatically, such as the Orcs. Of course, these are only the initial results, and I would expect to see some movement in the coming weeks as players get used to the balance update, new missions, and core rule changes. We have reset the running total win rates from this week, as we are confident the vast majority of the tournaments are using the new rules. Due to this, the running total is exactly the same as the win rates we have just covered. The 4-week running total does contain the previous 3 weeks of meta, and does highlight some significant changes for the factions. Orcs, for example, are on 50.5% on the 4-week, which does include the 46.4% they got this week. Most of the factions, however, are quite close, with another noticeable difference being the Grey Knights. They did get a few nerfs, in particular the nerfs to the only target within 12 inches stratagems. As the stats are the same on the running total, we will move on to the Space Marine chapters. This week the Space Wolves topped the charts with a win rate of 53.9%. As they only got a small points increase to 2 units, I'm not surprised they are still at the top. The Ultramarines and Salamanders come next, both on a 50% win rate. The Blood Angels top the other group on 49.4%, with the Black Templars on 46.6%. The Dark Angels are the most popular, and they get a win rate of 45.9%. The Death Watch are on a win rate of 42.4%, with the Unknown chapters down on 41.9%. We don't see a huge number of chapters in the first week, and it looks like the Space Wolves and Blood Angels are still the ones to beat. The Space Marines did get slightly nerfed overall, but it's not too surprising, they're doing a little bit worse. As with the all-faction running total, we have reset these, as we didn't see a lot of players for the chapters this week. Some are not on here, such as Phyllis's favourite Blue Boys, the Ultramarines. We do not have a lot of war bands in the first week of the Chaos Space Marines, although the 7 Emperor's Children players get a good win rate of 60.9%. The main takeaway is that the faction has dropped back a bit overall, with a win rate of 44.4% for the unknown warbands. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.